So, do you like caravanning?
Heck yes, it's an awesome lifestyle.
And what about our hybrid? Do you like our hybrid?
Wow. Look, I love our hybrid, but there is definitely some things with our hybrid that are annoying.
So, would you buy another hybrid?
That's a really good question, Kate. I reckon we could make a video about whether you should buy a hybrid van or not. What do you reckon?
Let's do it. Welcome to our new episode, and I'd like to start with thanking everybody that's already subscribed. It really does help us a lot. Let's get into this video.
Now look, caravanning comes with compromises. We all know that you can't have it all. Well, maybe you can, but it comes at a cost.
If you find the money tree, you can have it all, but you do have to work on budgets as well.
Now we've had this hybrid for over 18 months now.
It's been a while.
Been living in it full time for 6 months. So we think we can sort of tell you the good, the bad, and the interesting bits about hybrids.
Let's find out if we'd buy another one or not.
Wait till the end of the episode.
You may just be surprised with what we decide.
Okay, so what do we have? We have an MDC AUSRV XL13. Yes, it's a mouthful, but it's a 13-foot hybrid camper, and it is small, but it packs a punch.
Oh yeah, it's like a little nugget, but it's got a lot of goodies. So let's start with, why did we buy this particular van?
Because it was available. It was just after COVID and there was nothing available.
That's right.
Really.
Look, probably the big thing is you never know how long you've got, so you don't want to be waiting a couple of years for a vehicle. We had the budget money. The van was available when we wanted it, which was pretty much straight away. And it had all the goodies that we were chasing: the solar, the lithium, the independent suspension, the solid chassis construction. We did some research, it fit everything, and so that's why we got this particular van.
Cain did a lot of research, because he was not so certain.
Look,
about
it's probably the number one tip is don't just rush in and buy something because everybody's got it. Find what you want, what you believe will work for you, and what fits into your budget, so you don't have something shiny and new sitting in your shed that you got no money left to go and enjoy it in. So we worked out a lot of factors, and that worked best for us.
Do your list up of what are your things that you are not willing to compromise, and what are you willing to compromise on, and that sort of then helps you decide what you want. Look, cost was a major factor and is always going to be a major factor in buying a caravan. And for us, we wanted something that was off-road. And an off-road caravan is nearly double the price of an off-road hybrid.
It certainly was. And look, we do love Australian-made stuff. AUSRV was an Australian product. They made it here. They did take the design and all that overseas to China, where this one is made, so that's probably the only downside, but they still use all the German products, all the Australian electronics and all that sort of stuff. But the fact that we could get a overseas built van straight away for nearly half the price of an Australian built van was probably a big plus for us, because...
Well, not even an Australian built van, a caravan. Like a caravan starts at about nearly $120,000. We paid $60,000.
It does if you want all the goodies that we were looking for, and like I said, we wanted something compact so we could travel off-road. Other things you've got to be wary of is, can your vehicle tow it? So our vehicle can definitely tow it. The van is 3 tonne. Our vehicle's rated at 3.5 tonne.
So what is it like towing? Because this is a big factor for some people. Like a normal caravan is quite high compared to the hybrid. What is the hybrid like?
It's, to be honest, it's like a little bit bigger off-road camper trailer, yeah, with a boat on. It's not really that big. It sits about the same height as the car, so you don't have to worry about any overhead things hitting it. It tows really nice.
Look, even I've towed it. I don't do a lot of towing, but even I've towed it, and It doesn't even really feel like it's behind you. Maybe going down a hill you can feel it, but that's about it. So,
that's right, it's just the extra weight on it. Plus, being a 3-ton van, we got an extra 700 kgs of goodies we can add to it, but we do have to remember that didn't include the likes of water, gas, and some of the furnishings we got, so it's not a full 700 kgs.
Now hang on, you said a 3-ton van. A lot of people, this actually shocks a lot of people because it's only a 13-foot van. Why the heck is it 3-ton? Like some big caravans aren't even that weight.
It's got a lot of storage on it, and on top of that, it's really structurally well built. So obviously better steel, stronger steel is going to weigh heavier than the lighter stuff. There is some very new modern vans out, but like we said, cost. This one here suited our cost. The suspension is nice and solid and strong. It's not just a single shock little spring sort of suspension. It's a big heavy duty fella. The braking system, they're electric brakes, so I'd love disc brakes, but they're electric brakes, but they're 12-inch hubs and that, so a lot better braking on the van. There's just a lot of things on the van that were built really rugged for the Australian conditions.
So it's worth having that extra weight so that we know we've got a solid van that can go places.
Without braking in the middle of nowhere because you drove through a pothole.
And without costing us 120,000 plus, like 120,000 is a starting price for some big vans. But there is some downfalls about having a hybrid, and we will also be sharing those as well. Don't worry, it's not all just roses. There is some downfalls. There
is a lot of things we'd like to change. There's a lot of things that we love.
One of the things that I love about inside the caravan are the windows. A lot of actual caravans have those concertinaed windows. They talk about the bugs and the mosquitoes being able to get in. Well, ours have this. So they have midgie proof screens, and then we can just slide it up or down. Super easy to access them. But another thing, which is a benefit for a hybrid, is that we also have the windows up here. They allow so much airflow through the van, and as a bonus, if you're worried about security in a place, you can have the other windows closed and just these ones open. So therefore you can have all the air coming in, but you don't have to worry about any unwelcome visitors coming in as well.
Well, the downside to having all these windows or this top that pops up is when we run our diesel heater when it's cold, it works awesome while the heater's running, but as soon as the heater stops, the insulation is just canvas up there. So we have everything zipped up, it's just canvas. It doesn't hold the insulation as well as a solid insulated sized caravan would. And it's the same for the air conditioning. So if you run your air conditioner, it's working a lot harder because it's not getting the benefit of the better insulation on the bigger van. So there's some downsides. Whether they outweigh the upsides, that's entirely up to how often you want to use your air conditioner and your heater.
Now, we both love the fact that even though our van is only 13 foot, we have a king size bed. We love our king size bed. So much room. Why are you on my side?
This is the middle.
That is not the middle. My side, your side, and a space in between. But there is a problem with our king size bed. It is a foldable mattress because the back of our van folds out. So half the mattress folds up, which makes, Cain?
A hole.
There is a hole in our bed.
In the middle of the bed.
And it's like
it's right where your hip sits.
Yeah.
So your hip sits in there, and you do tend to get a sore back if you don't lay right. And when you're getting out of the bed, it is a bit of a lift up out of the hole. So we do have to lay a little bit off that hole when we're sleeping.
And I don't know about Cain, but I am exactly the wrong height for it. I either have to lay right down so my legs hang over the bed, otherwise my hips are in, like, literally in the hole, or I have to lay right up the top with my head touching almost the window so that my butt is out of the hole. Seriously?
Yeah, I don't really have the problem.
Are you saying I've got big hips and butt?
But we did look at a mattress topper. We'd probably have to get a custom made fella, because I think you said queen size one's only it, and this is a king size bed.
Yeah, I can't remember their name. They're on Facebook. I follow them. I love them. I'll put it in here if I can. They look like they have amazing mattress toppers, but they only go to queen size bed because they're actually like that thick. And that would be really good. We've just got one that you bought from Spotlight, but
it's really thin. And
yeah, it's soft. It doesn't work. We definitely do need an alternative, and if anyone has any ideas of how to fix or a good mattress topper that we can use, please ping it in the comments, because we would love you forever.
That's it. The hole just seems to swallow everything up.
I tell you, that would be one reason we would actually look at a full-size caravan. We love the king-size bed, but sometimes you do not get a good sleep.
That's right.
Another thing that I have problems with in the hybrid is the laundry basket, just because there's such limited space. Now, while we're not using the shower, this is where we keep the laundry basket. We keep it in the shower. There's heaps of room in the shower. It's a great spot, and I put it there when we're traveling. However, once you've showered, the floors are wet, and I don't really want my laundry basket wet. So then I'm pulling it out here, trying to set it here, but that's sort of in our only bit of floorway. I do at night time, because normally you shower at night time before you go to bed. I do put it over here in front of the door, and that is an okay solution. I have a bonus with that solution. That bonus is, if anyone tries to break in my van, they're going to get all my dirty laundry falling on them. So, it is a help. But, I mean, it's probably an issue in all caravans, but where do you put your laundry basket? Or give me a good laundry basket. As you can see, mine's all broken and falling to bits. I do like the shape, but I need one that works.
Probably the only other issue with it down there, I love the idea as security, but all our buttons for our awnings, our electric step,
I do hit them a lot.
Diesel heater are all down there, and if you bump those, well, you got to bump them sort of reasonably hard, but if you hit those, things start happening.
I have turned the diesel heater on in summer several times now. Now, storage in every van is an issue. 13-foot hybrid does not have a lot of room for storage. There is no storage under our bed, again, because it folds in half. We only have half the space, and that's all the batteries and that to do with the van. I have a little bit of storage under the seat, which I use for my shoes, and we also have the diesel heater there, so again, I'm sharing that space. We have one set of cupboards. Poor Cain misses out on most of the stuff there because I have a few clothes. The added bonus, though, of having a hybrid and having that pop top is that once we are set up, we have some storage space on top of the van, on top of the cupboards. As you can see, I've just chucked random things there. On the cupboard over here, again, we have like Cain's hat, a fry pan, but every time we pack up, we have to move that storage. And I'll show you, even in the bathroom, we've actually started using this shelf up here to put some of our toiletries, just so it's quick and easy to get to the toiletries. But if we were packing up every day, they have to be pulled down, put away, because that comes down to here. So at the moment we're doing a bit slower traveling, so it works, but if you are doing packing up every day or every second day, that is a pain.
Because we've got a king size bed doesn't mean that we lose a little bit of side storage. We've managed really well. So check this out. This is where I keep my heart, or my blood pressure monitors down the side here, because there's plenty of room. We do keep jumpers down the side because we don't need them very often. some spare pillows, and I'll be honest, I like to chuck my laptop and writing stuff on the side as well, because I generally do that there.
What else do you keep down there, Cain? Like half of your wardrobe.
Some clothes, because when you wear a set of clothes, you can take them off, sit them here, get a new set out. This set's airing out and gets all clean, so then you can put them on 2 days later, and you're like rotating clothes without having to wash them.
So really, the bonus is that he has a second wardrobe. Really, isn't it?
That's my extra space. What I lack up here, I pick up down on the sides of the bed.
Look, I can't actually talk because I've moved, we took blankets and that out, and I've actually put all my jumpers down the side now too, but not my clothes I wear every day.
Now, another problem with the big king size bed, because it's foldable, it is a bit cumbersome when you fold it up, I believe you say. Trina normally does all the folding up. I rarely do it.
Because you hurt your back the one time you did it.
That's right, because it is a little bit bulky and difficult to get up and around, so you do have to be aware that it, you know, there are not just grab it, flip it over and you beauty. It is a nice thick mattress, makes it heavier, and it's just a little bit harder to get up and over and fold up. Certainly when you've got all your doonas and a bit of this side storage blocking the way as well.
Something you wouldn't have to do if you had an actual caravan.
No, look, all caravanners have problems making their beds and doing that, but they don't have to fold their bed up. Only hybrid owners have to fold their beds up.
Really matter how you set the bed up. Like, you can have as many sheets or blankets and that. What you do is just fold everything over first and then the mattress over, so you don't have to actually remake the bed. You just flick it all back.
That's all. I just went to the end of the bed and grabbed it and just pulled it all up and over.
And now we know why Cain doesn't do it anymore.
Now, as we've mentioned, our electrics are under the bed, our hot water system's under the bed, everything sort of sits under the bed, which is awesome. Check this out, because I can still get to it all. That's our electrics. Our hot water system's in behind there. Right, there's a 2000 watt inverter and there's a 200 amp hour lithium battery. Only downside to all that is, because of my medications sit in this drawer, the heat all comes through the back along the cable pathways, and it does make my drawers a little warm, so I do have to be wary. If I've got any medication that needs to be kept cool, sometimes this drawer is probably not the best option for that. When I spoke about the electrics, this van has that many outlets. Check this out. Right here, there's some two USBs and a 12 volt. Down the back, exactly the same.
On both sides.
On both sides. At the TV, they're all there, plus a power point. Up the front, where our microwave and that is power points, electrics, outlets. Outside, there's even outlets and electronics. It really does pack a punch with all those electronics. The only downside is they've all got these little LEDs on them. And at night time, we don't need ambient light in here because they are pretty bright. Hence why the toaster sits in front of that panel, is because that panel's really bright at night and it makes it too glary when we get up to go to the toilet and that.
We don't need a night light.
We don't need a night light.
I think we've showed you in other videos that we have hooks and that everywhere in the van. You do have to become very creative if you have a small hybrid. This is our latest one. We have actually put a towel rail on the roof of our hybrid because I've been doing a little bit of work. That way I can hang my nice dresses and my shirts that I have steamed, and I just put them up here and they're out of the way. So yes, you have to be creative, and of course we've showed you our hat storage, things like that. You have to be creative and use every available space. But when you do, you actually come up with some cool options. Now, some hybrids do have a kitchen inside them, but because ours is only 13 foot, we have zero kitchen. And that has actually been a real con, especially in some of the weather that we've been through. The only thing that we have inside, we actually put inside a microwave So I do a lot of, if we know bad weather's coming, I do extra, cook extra, and we just microwave it, reheat it. So leftovers, reheat is about the only thing we can cook inside. We do also have a toaster because thank goodness we have an inverter and it runs both the toaster and the microwave. We use them off when we're off grid all the time. They don't suck a lot because they don't go for very long. But this is our entire kitchen space. Like it's not even an arm length. Like that is tiny. And talking about tiny, check out our seating arrangements.
Let's go and do some work in the caravan.
This is how we work and eat in the caravan. There probably is enough space for Cain to sit beside me, but literally he would be touching me. Ew. And you just need that little bit of space to work. So I sit on the seat, Cain sits
on the bed.
And this is our office. This is our dining room. This is where we watch TV.
It's pretty much our living space. So it's very cozy. We don't have an issue. I don't mind because I can lay down on the bed this way.
My legs get sore after a while. I'm like trying to stretch them out. And
Trina's legs do get sore. The chair is nice, but it's not the most comfortable of chairs. That's why, you know, having a little bit bigger lounge, somewhere to sit and eat together and probably even play games, because when it is really bad weather outside and it's windy and it's raining and it's cold, playing games in here gets pretty hard because we just got to set it up on this little bit here. I sit back a bit in the hole and we play some games.
It's really hard, and we've had a fair bit of bad weather, so we've had to spend, like we'd rather be outside. But when you have bad weather, you have to be inside the caravan. There is no other choices. So yeah, I tell you what, the thing I love about a full-size caravan is those big club lounges. Like that would be my I just love to be able to put my legs out.
She wants a club lounge.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, it would be really nice with a little table, so we could probably play a couple of little games, eat at the table, and we could sit side by side with our laptops.
Could you imagine not having to have it on my legs and actually having it at a good typing height?
This did come with a table, don't get us wrong, this did come with a table. It weighed a ton, it was always in the road, and you can't leave it set up because it's sat here. And how do I get out of bed to go to the toilet or shower with the table in the road?
It was a telescopic table and it would have had to sit here. I don't understand how they expected that to be set up. I really think it was the wrong choice for this van.
All travellers and caravanners know that water is probably a really big factor. It's what sort of stops you from staying away longer. If you've got a good solar and battery system, you can stay out, but if you run out of water, it's always an issue. This little van comes with a 120 litre front water tank, an 80 litre rear water tank, and an 80 litre wastewater tank. Now we didn't convert the wastewater because there's a lot of places that we've had to actually turn it off.
Is there a lot? A few.
There's a few, you know, there's more than people think. We have had to turn it off so we're not dumping it out in the ground. One of the other beauties about this van, which I did some research on because I hear they all have issues, is the changeover between the tanks. Our tanks...
For the water tank?
That's right, for the water tanks. Our tanks has one pump and it can suck from either or tank. And that's done via a valve, which I can turn. They're not linked, so they're separate, which is awesome. This valve is really easy to get to. Check this out. This is the valve. This is in here. And it's got arrows to point which way the water is. So I just have to spin it around, and now it's coming from that tank. So the arrow, that's the main out. That's input from front tank. That's from back tank. If I wanted to, I could do both tanks and spin it right around, and that's both. But who does that sort of stuff?
I didn't even know that was an option. I was a little disappointed when I found out that that cupboard was the water changeover thing, because I thought it was a big storage cupboard.
We can't jam storage in there. I can't get to the valve.
Look, I do put an overnight bag in there because...
We do put this in there because we don't change the valve over very often, and it's pretty easy to take this in and out. and it's not a big deal to get the bag in and out with the valve. So some people have to lift up their beds, climb over everything just to get to their valves, or they got to go outside, try and switch over valves underneath the van. We can just sit in the comfort of our van, change the valve, and it's happy days.
Now, one of the reasons we actually went for a hybrid van was the outdoor kitchen. We love being outside most of the time when the weather permits, and we love cooking outside, we love eating outside, so the whole outdoor feel of a hybrid was exactly what we want. And look, we have not been disappointed with our kitchen. It does everything we want. The sink's good, it's a good size. I love my dish rack that's on there. The stove is 4 burners, which you use 2, but it allows you to spread things out. The thing I love, and which was a winner when one of the factors of deciding, Cain had all his lithium batteries and solar. I had storage and I had good kitchen stuff, and I love this bar. This bar is amazing. I've just got all my sauces, everything, the spices and things that I need where I want them, and so easy to use. And because Cain's an electrician, I even have a power point here, which is perfect because I can chuck my air fryer there and use the air fryer. So yeah, winning with the kitchen.
Do you have a pantry? I don't see any pantries.
That's a really good question. I have cupboard space that I use in here. So literally, you know how they say in a kitchen you should have it in a triangle? Well, it's nearly like that. The pantry is the cupboards in here. My pantry is in here inside the van, and that's where I keep most of the things that I use. I also have this drawer. Come over here. Now, a few of them I looked at, this drawer was about this big. We have a much longer drawer. I keep pots and pans, some more spices, sauces, things like that in there. We don't have a lot of plates, only being the 2 of us, so we literally only need one drawer for all of our plates, and then of course there's the cutlery drawer as well. Now, I can hear you asking, but where's your fridge? And you're right, we do not have a fridge inside the van, but that's why we have it set up like this. So if you swing around this way, Cain, we like to back our car pretty much close in because our fridge is our Dometic that lives in our car. Now, there is a benefit of having this. If we're out driving and we're going to have lunch, we have all our food with us, so that is perfect. We do have a fridge slide. The hybrid does come with a fridge slide. However, we use this as a freezer, and this works for us because there's no point having a freezer in the back of the car. So we have the freezer in the van and we have our fridge in the back of the car. It works.
It looks good, looks like. Now, the van has all the usual goodies, like an outside shower. We don't really use it, only if we sort of want to just wash off. Water inlets, so your mains water in. I put a cover over your hot water cooler.
About all that.
Power inlets. The only issue we have with the water tank fillers is they do tend to blow back sometimes, but I probably believe that everybody might have those. Once the airlines get going, then they're fine.
Another big factor, again, you know how much I love storage, is that this doesn't just have one tunnel boot, it has 2. And this second tunnel boot is actually not something many vans or even hybrids have, and this was a huge winner factor for us because this gives us so much more storage. We can put our chairs, our 2 tables, our BBQ in here, Cain's fishing gear. I don't know where we would put these things if we did not have this storage. So it is definitely a winner.
Look, it certainly is, because like I said, my rod's in there all set up. I've got the aerial in there all set up on a pole. We have a flag pole with a flag on it, it's in there all set up. You don't get too many vans or that with that sort of tunnel boot space, and certainly a hybrid. Hybrids really lack that. What hybrids try and do is have a box on the front that offers that, but they offer it to put it in for their fridges and their generators, whereas we've got separate ones for generators, chainsaws and washing stuff.
So literally the bottom two storage areas either side have the fridge and the generator and our other bits and pieces in. Where in a small hybrid would you put your chairs and your tables, your baby cue? Like that would have to all go in our car, which has already got a lot of stuff in it. That is a game changer, and if you're looking for a hybrid, look for this extra storage bit. A couple have it and it's definitely worth it.
Look, as much as we love our hybrid, there are some other little niggly issues that we have. They're not big because it doesn't take an awful lot of time, but if we pull up beside someone who's in a caravan, we've got a little bit to set up. So popping the top, dropping the back out, getting the bed done. We have camped with some people and they just pull up, open the door and go inside with their kitchen, make themselves a cup of coffee, all the goodies. We've got a little bit of work to do to get to that stage. Not a lot, I'm not complaining at all, it's just...
It's a little bit harder, and like with Cain, with his heart condition, like it's so much easier than a camper trailer.
Oh, way easier than the camper trailer.
But it is still a bit more effort. Like possibly with his heart condition that a full-size van might make it a little bit easier. I do a lot of the popping up and out now, but yeah. Hey, a tip for anyone with a hybrid and popping the top up is to make sure your door is open, because if you're trying to lift
it's got the suction.
Yeah, we're trying to lift it, even to pull it down and the door's not open, it is really hard. As soon as that door's open, straight up. So yeah, tip, leave your door open when you're popping it.
That's right. Speaking of doors, just make sure when you do look at the caravan or buy one, get one with a screen door that separates. It's way easier than having to buy fly screens.
I know the new zones and that, they have that one door, but look at that. Like we have two and we have a screen. We looked at a caravan show at a Vision, which we really quite liked. We didn't realise it doesn't have a screen door. They're actually putting just a fly screen there because they literally only have the hard door. Like seriously, I thought every van came with a fly screen door. Like
I don't know why the doors have to be so pretty. They got to be practical as well.
And ours is like we often have that door just locked at night time and it's safe and secure. So yeah, much better.
One of the only other issues we have is the drop down legs. Now they do tell you not to use your rattle guns and that on your drop down legs. We don't for a reason though. We can't get the rattle gun through these little pull out there. That's the part you pull out and you swing your leg up and down. We can't get the little socket through there. They do supply us with a lever arm that does fit, which we can use. I could chop it off and put it onto a drill or weld onto an end and make it into a rattle gun, but for the effort it takes us to do a bit of hand winding, it's, you know, it's not the be all and end all. But yeah, it's just another little thing that people always come running over and saying, oh mate, here, use my rattle gun. And I say to them, well, if you can get your socket to fit through there, bud, you're more than welcome to have a go, but it's not going to fit through that little opening.
Okay, we've just showed everyone all the things that we love, maybe not so much like about the van. What is our verdict? Ooh. Do we buy a hybrid again? Do we stay with the hybrid? What do we do?
Oh, look, like I said, we bought it originally because it just was there, it was available, and we've been able to travel straight away. We haven't had to wait. Had we had a bigger budget, you know, we would definitely buy something a little bit bigger. Certainly because of ease of my condition and the ease of setting up and all that sort of stuff. We would look for, what size did we sort of say we would like?
We'd have a full-size caravan so that we'd have mainly the better insulation was our main thing, and we could just walk straight into it, and the bed.
Look, when we say better, these are the things that we would really look for if you're going to buy a caravan. Better seating, a bed you don't have to make fold up all the time, but is definitely big enough. an inside kitchen. Now, it doesn't have to be very big. It's only got to be in case you cannot camp because you get a week of bloody bad weather and you've got to cook inside.
We do like having the outside kitchen option. So, you know, again, as I've said, everything with caravanning is a compromise. So we'd like probably a caravan.
That's right. It'll be a caravan that's fully insulated with a... Because I've got to run a heart rate monitor now, I need... The inverter's fine at 2000 watts. We don't find we need any more than that. But I'd need a bit bigger battery system, say 400 amp hour lithium, and always need double the solar for your battery size. So if you ever wanted to know how much solar do I need for my battery, if you've got 400 lithium, you need at least 800 solar.
And we really like the stuff that this van's made out of. So any van, the sandwich panel, is that what it's called?
That's right, yeah. It's an aluminium coated fiberglass inside proper sandwich panel. There's no wood in this one here.
And I wouldn't buy a van without, like, I love that about this van.
It doesn't twist, shift, all those sorts of things. It's really solid and the construction and that. So
we would upgrade to a van. What size? This is 13 foot when we're towing it.
18's probably the max because we only need another
16,
couple of foot. Yep.
16 to 18.
Yep, there, because we don't want to have something that big that we struggle to get it in. Because if anybody's been to caravan parks, not that we like to, but you'll notice that some of the backing in is quite difficult. And if you're travelling some of those remote bush roads, and I know you can do it, everybody's doing it in much bigger vans and that, but it's just a little less stressful if you're dragging something just a little bit smaller through some of these.
I personally, because I would have to tow as well, I want something that's not going to wag around on the road, that's going to just sit in behind us. So a full-size caravan, but as small as we can possibly get with the things we want. But the big but is we don't have a money tree. We don't have anything like that. There is no way that we can actually upgrade our caravan.
No, right now, this is going to be home for quite a while to come.
Yep. So these are all things that we would love, and there's our wish list. But we're not actually getting them. Sorry, I know you might have been excited thinking we're upgrading, but no, we're not those sort of YouTubers. We don't have the money. We would have to sell our house in Townsville to do that, and that is not something that we are willing to do at the moment. Because really, with those few compromises, we can easily live in
we still travel, and we still love and live in this. So
it's just, if you wanted to upgrade and do it better.
If someone approached me and said, look, we've got this, would you take it? And I'd have a look at it and say, well, if it's got those things, yes, we would definitely look and consider it.
So if anyone out there wants to, you know, help us upgrade to a bigger van, come see us, chuck it in the comments. But our verdict is a hybrid is fine. There is no problems with it. There's actually lots of benefits with a hybrid, and really you can travel Australia for as long as you like in a hybrid. Don't know if I'd do it with a family. I think it would be hard with a family.
Yeah, if it's two people.
Two people.
Perfect.
Do it.
That's right.
The main thing is being able to get out there and do it.
That's right.
And a hybrid for us was the option that we could do and get out there and see things.
That's right. We didn't just want to be those people that are just surviving. We wanted to get out and start living, and this here definitely enabled us to get out there and live a really good life the way we wanted to, with some compromises, but nothing that's going to stop or hinder our travels whatsoever.
So our verdict is we would love a full-size caravan, just a smaller one.
Oh.
But it's not in our, we don't have a money tree. It's not in our foreseeable future.
No, look, this one here is going to be with us for quite a while to come.
And we've got so many more adventures to do in this van, and it'll be fine, it'll do it. Talking about adventures, Cain, what's our next episode?
Oh, make sure you watch next week to see what we actually get up to.
We tick off a major bucket list item for Cain, so make sure you tune in and watch it next week. Catch you then.
Stop surviving, start living.
Do you know the other hard thing about a hybrid van? Well, it's a GoPro that doesn't want to stay where it is. The other hard thing is trying to film in a small space and get further enough back so you guys can actually
And
see
it doesn't sound like we're yelling.
Ah, yes. This is a big problem in a hybrid down here. Stop it. And no, not more boob, more views. It doesn't work.
And you can see that piece of paper that you're holding.
Well, I have to remember what I'm doing. I can't remember it. You're so bossy. I think you run this YouTube channel or something.
Okay.
Jeez. Wait until wait until the end of the episode. I've already said that. See our verdict. Catch our verdict. I can't remember.
This is what happens
It
when.
sounds
This is what happens when you
dumb.
try and.
So look at. Okay. Okay.
Good night.
See you later. I got in first.
I was going to climb on.
You weird. Ta-da!
You stumbled through all that. Something
I
bad.
thought it was good.
No.
Fuck you then.